Hey everybody, Bob Chick back with another Voice of Bodybuilding podcast. And once again, this episode is brought to you by our good friends at Redcon One and powered by Panada. The Panada update, everybody, because everybody keeps asking, lots and lots of DMs. All right, so the request has been put in. The equipment is getting loaded on a truck. It could be here within a week. It could be even less, but we've taken this week to actually get rid of some of the old equipment. Maybe I'll get some footage of what we're dealing with for the next VOB, because you got to see this stuff. There's 10 pieces of Panada equipment coming. This is world-class equipment. There's $100,000 worth of equipment coming to my house for my home gym. And we're going to be doing a lot of future episodes talking about training, talking about equipment, talking about, all those tricks that the pros have used, including myself over the years, that we're going to pass on to you, the next generation, to make all your gains. So I'll keep you updated on that as it unfolds this week. With that, what do I see just the other day but furor, outrage on the internet about what the Olympia said? Now, for those who haven't been following the bouncing ball, there was a video that was put out by our good friends Tarek and Chris Cormier and Tim Wilkins. They do a show called Primetime Muscle, and they put a video out, which was actually pretty innocuous if you've actually happened to catch the video. It was removed, unfortunately. We'll get into that in a moment. But the title of it was Olympia Threat or Bust. Now, that was probably where the problem started and ended, because it wasn't really worded properly, in my opinion. And I think that's where a lot of this outrage had occurred. And then as a tag, it said Olympia failures or promises. And this inherently is where the problem became is much like you can't judge a book by its cover, okay? The clickbait stuff has got to end. Not just on all of our part. Look, I put stuff out there. I don't consider it clickbait. It might be sensationalizing a bit. I mean, listen, we're all in the same biz. We're all trying to catch somebody's attention. But blatantly putting something out just to catch somebody's attention is not really being, it's being rather disingenuous, okay? And people catch on quick. I mean, we've all seen podcasters that are no longer on YouTube that, have literally made, their following by this action. But again, it gets old quick and people get sick of the bait and switch type of a thing. You don't need the clickbait if you've got good content, but I don't think it was done intentionally. I think it was literally just the wrong verbiage used. This could have been titled something different, because if you actually watch the video, we're going to play a few clips because actually I had access to the video and watched most of it myself. It's not anything like that. There's no talk of people that are complete busts. There's no talk of people that were failures in their career. So we're going to show that in just a moment. But I wanted to just make a few things clear right off the bat. Number one, the Olympia is a competition. It's a show. It's our number one show in the industry, as we've all heard it referred, the Super Bowl of bodybuilding and such. But it's an entity. The Olympia doesn't make statements, okay, unless it's something pertaining to the Olympia. Here's where the Olympia is going to be. Here's when VIP tickets are on sale, that type of stuff. Much like the IFBB Pro League, which we've discussed ad nauseum, the IFBB Pro League does not have an opinion when it comes to things of this nature, or how good a bodybuilder is, or what a bodybuilder needs to do, or even whether they should retire. We've all heard that one. So they are entities. The Olympia is a competition that's put on. It's owned by Jake Wood. They're all about the athletes. I think anybody that's seen the money that have gone out and has gone up over the years, including 2 years of COVID, where there would have been every reason in the world to have canceled the show. This was put on for the athletes to keep this ball rolling, keep the history intact. Still haven't missed a year since its inception in 1965 when Joe Weider started it. All right, so reference clip number one. All right, you're going to see right here, and this is just a short clip, a little bit of piece of it, of what you've seen if you saw this while it was up. Go ahead and roll the clip.
Ian Valliere went from what, 6th last year, 7th? 7th to 11th.
Correct. Yeah, he was the guy in 2021 on that second call out. He was the guy that won a show and told everybody, I'm going to be on the first call out. Now, Tim, he's a great bodybuilder. Ian Valliere is a great bodybuilder. He has won plenty of pro shows. he's going to go down in history as one of the best Canadian bodybuilders of all times. I got to give him credit for that. Was this performance his best performance? No, it wasn't a good performance. He'll be the first one to tell you, I missed my peak. I'm going to be better next time.
All right. So as you can see, the boys are talking about bodybuilders in particular. In this case, Ian Valliere, great bodybuilder, been a top 10 Olympian a few times. They're not referencing him as some sort of failure or bust to the Olympia, or like this isn't a guy who's lived up to his expectations. They're giving critique. And there's a few others in there. We're not going to play them all. It would be way too long. But, Ian, James Hollinghead, Steve Kuklo, all right, they're just referencing some bodybuilders and giving some critique on what they do to literally get to the next level, or maybe see their value in terms of what they bring to the table. How can they can best maximize that stuff? Ian Valliere, from what I've seen, didn't even have any problem with this, nor should they. All right, these are athletes and professional athletes at that. They're used to critique. Okay, much like any professional in any sport, baseball, football, hockey, I don't care what it is. They're used to getting written about, talked about on ESPN. If you're a basketball player, LeBron James, anybody who's the greatest of what they do is certainly not immune to getting all kinds of critique. Tom Brady, this guy, he gets all kinds of stuff thrown at him, and he's only the greatest football player of all time, at least in the quarterback position. So, again, what did we learn from that clip? Well, again, it's got nothing to do with the title. Yes, I don't believe the title was what it should be named. It should have been named something else. Now, the fact that the boys decided to take this off, I think was a mistake. Unless they're just changing the name. Listen, we've had mistakes on this show where you would have had to literally remove the entire thing to change the name and put it back up. I don't think it was out long enough for that to have been an issue. I literally just would have changed the title. But there was nothing wrong inherently with the video. Let's play clip number 3, and you'll see the same thing. They're talking about the King Snake, Steve Kuklo, and you're going to see right here. Nothing wrong with what they're saying. Go ahead. Roll the next clip.
Steve Kuklo is in the final stretch of his career. There's no more 1 year off. You need to get it done right now or you're close to retirement. Get on a diet, win the Texas show this year, go back to the Olympia where you belong, and push it a little bit more in the final stretch. He's a veteran. It's now or never. There's no year off. It's now or never for Steve Kuklo.
All right. So they're talking about the King Snake. They're talking about what Steve Kuklo needs to do, in their opinion, okay, of where he's at with the Olympia. Okay, the clock's ticking. He's in the later part of his career now. He's not the new guy anymore, that type of thing. There's nothing wrong with this. They've been doing this for years. Years. I'll tell you how many years they've been doing it, okay? I just literally picked up a random Flex magazine out of my collection, which is vast. But I just went back to a year that was important to me. That was 2002, my only Olympia appearance. And lo and behold, in September 2002 Flex magazine, as you can see right here, the cover shot, on the inside pages is an Olympia preview by none other than our good friend Sugar Sean Ray. Now, Sean, by this point, had retired. He had kind of moved full-time into the category of analyst. Always did a good job, in my opinion. Sometimes honesty does not go too far in this game. But you're going to see the difference 20 years makes. All right. And we're going to put these clips up as you see, as I'm talking over it. And you can see right here, top dogs should be top 6. Guys on the bubble. Dark horses fighting for the top 10. That was me in there. Just happy to be there. Now, as you're looking through at these clips, this is right in Flex magazine. Nobody took offense to this. This wasn't anything that the entire, now the internet wasn't around like it is today. There was no Instagram. There wasn't any of this big following like that we have now. Yes, the internet was around, but not in its current capacity. Nobody went crazy. Nobody was out there, pitchforking and torches and calling for the demise of the Olympia and the IFBB and that type of talk. All it was a critique, and it was Sean's opinion on the Olympia lineup from 2002 and where he thought guys might win, place, show, not show. Again, just happy to be there. This wasn't exactly flattering, but again, if you were in the game, you understood it, and it was just his opinion, just like it's the opinion of primetime muscle. It's the opinion of the voice of bodybuilding. It's the opinion of any of these entities that are out there, desktop bodybuilding, and all the rest of these guys that are out doing their thing. It's no different. So to see the outrage that I seen the other day from the fan base, you got to check yourselves here, people. Okay, and I'm talking to the fans in particular out there. Don't take things so personally. This was not an attack on the Olympians and the Olympia should be ashamed of itself. Again, you're talking about a competition, an entity. They, the Olympia, don't have an opinion when it comes to individual competition and individual competitors that are in there trying to win a show. Okay? The reason I'm putting this out there is I want to make sure that it's clear. Not only is everybody entitled to an opinion, but then you have to reference who's making that opinion and really what they're talking about. But I can see clearly that most of you did not watch the video. You saw the title, you assumed what it was all about, and then you got crazy. And then I see all these comments and online and on Instagram and about how the Olympia needs to do this and needs to do that. And just complete nonsense and complete craziness. But I hope this clears up a little bit about what I saw at least. And again, I'm not saying they're without fault because honestly, I wouldn't have titled it either one. I wouldn't have used the word failures. I wouldn't have used the word, the phrase threat or bust. It does sound like that if you don't watch the video. I hope they put the video back up because you're going to see nothing wrong with it. Perfectly fine video. Again, some good opinions in there and some good advices to those athletes that they were discussing, but certainly nothing out of the ordinary. But I hope this serves as at least some sort of a example of how you can't really just go out and assume everything that you immediately see, because yes, it could be put out there as clickbait. Again, I don't really agree with that. I don't like putting clickbait things out. I don't mind sensationalizing a little bit. I don't mind propping it up a little bit. I put that video out with me and Big Rom before anything jumps on me. Said, oh, you put a video out right here that said confrontation. Well, he did have a confrontation. It wasn't a bad one. But that is far and aside from saying, like, I could have used the title of, Big Rami and Bob almost come to blows about the Olympia. That's not what happened. That wasn't even close to what's happened. So why would you put that out there just to get clicks? I'm not that desperate, folks. I do this because I enjoy doing it. I like bringing the my opinion and what I see out there to the bodybuilding masses and the fans. And I like people to be educated, not only in the world of bodybuilding, but the world of the IFBB Pro League and overall what's going out there in our world of bodybuilding. So hope this clears things up. And that's going to do it for this edition. We'll see everybody soon. Next edition coming out this week, folks. We appreciate the clicks. We appreciate all the subscribers out there. So hit that button. We really appreciate it. And so do the sponsors. That's going to wrap it up.